Youth mentoring is often defined as a structured relationship between a young person and a trusted adult, an adult that is normally someone other than a parent, teacher, or coach. The relationship should offer guidance, support, and encouragement, so it's important that the adult is well equipped for this. The Broadening Horizons program recognises that the adult mentors they connect young people with might not have much experience working with young people. Let's hear Liz Smith's tips for supporting mentors to keep young people both engaged and safe.
Because Broadening Horizons is a way of working and the program belongs to the schools, risk mitigation around mentors remains within the school's remit. And having said this, because the program is embedded within the school's curriculum, it allows for space where the program team, that being me, can build capacity of teaching practitioners to communicate the importance of the child safety standards to mentors. For example, we offer all mentors a professional development package. We offer that to schools on a school-by-school basis if they would like. We also offer a generic one, or we offer some one-to-one support as it's required. So within that mentor professional development piece, we invite the school to contribute so that they can explain school policies. Having that work done for us, it frees up my time to ensure that we're having really productive conversations, working on the actual mentors and the way that they engage with students, but also talking to the teachers about how they communicate policy, because there's a way to do it and there's a way to not do it. Because there's an existing policy and existing procedure, what we can do is take that time that's freed up by not having to come up with our own to understand each school's procedure. So it means that I have a good knowledge of how they can differ, so a small school to a big school. And it means that I can take that time to help the teacher learn how to communicate that to somebody who is outside the school. So someone who's not familiar with a school policy where there's jargon, or we can really break it down and make the policy and procedure easy for mentors to use. Say you've got one school that is presenting a positive behaviour matrix to a mentor and saying we expect our students to show these qualities and positive behaviours in the classroom, and we enforce that. And for a mentor, that's quite jargon heavy. So positive behaviours is like, well, what does that mean? My way to break that down for the mentor is to say, okay, when you're having a discussion with a young person and you feel like perhaps the behaviour is turning towards something that where you might be spoken to rudely, or you might not feel welcome or something like that, perhaps look at the matrix and look at what types of behaviours you're seeing and what ones you're not seeing. And then also feel comfortable to say to the young person, hey, this is what your school asks you to do, and I'm a guest at the school, so maybe you could afford that same respect to me as well. And there's a way to have that conversation with a young person just about making it clear that you have that boundary in place. You're not their friend, you're their mentor. Getting them to put themselves in the young person's shoes. So saying, well, do you have a child that's this age? What would you be comfortable with someone asking them? With parents, that's a bit easier because they get it straight away and they're like, oh, okay, well, I'd be okay with that. I wouldn't be okay with this, so I'll do this. With people that are a bit older, so say Gips Dairy engages mentors for our program that are dairy farmers that have probably never had a Teams meeting or a Zoom meeting before, let alone engage with a young person through that environment. But having said that, through that guidance of just saying, look, you're a real person, the student is a real person, they might not have their camera on because they don't feel comfortable, and that's okay. And just guiding them to say you are allowed to ask them to put their camera on, but if they say no, don't push the issue. And that was giving mentors the ability to feel empowered to ask a question, but also giving the students the ability to say, well, no, I don't want to do that today, and then them being okay. So it worked at both ends. And I think throughout the pandemic, it was difficult for mentors to engage with students in a remote space because it doesn't feel like you're having a real conversation with a real person. So we came up with a few things to tell mentors about, well, you might have a shared hobby or interest, or you don't actually have to talk about the problem of practice right now. Just work on building that rapport so that next time you're going to have a discussion, you're able to get to the next step. So for some mentors, that was about saying, oh, where do you live? And what do you like about where you live? With some particular mentors, that's been about getting them to think about why you were interested in the program in the first place. But it's also about encouraging them to think about the way they engage with young people. So some mentors are inclined to really want to help, and that means that they might provide the answer too quickly. Our program is about building capacity, right? So some mentors just need that little extra push to say, so we want you to be a really evil Socrates-like figure who just teaches through question asking all the time. And while students or young people might find that frustrating, that type of inquiry-based learning is crucial to developing critical thinking and problem solving. Ethical youth work is about putting yourself in the shoes of a team coach. The coach's job for a team, it's not to score the goal, it's to encourage, advise, and build capacity for their team to score the goal themselves. I encourage mentors to think about people in their own life who have made an impact and how they did that.
Working in a safe and engaging way with young people requires so much more than a working with children check. It's a consistent, multifaceted commitment. Let's sum up Liz's tips for supporting a mentor who may not have experience with young people in a professional capacity. 1. If you're partnering with schools or other youth spaces, there's a great opportunity to collaborate for mutual benefit rather than reinvent the wheel each time. Evaluate what already exists that you can leverage or build on. 2. Communicating child safety standards is not just about providing yet another document. It needs to be accessible and in plain language. Training and ongoing conversations are crucial for bringing policies to life, putting these standards into context, and showing why we have these standards in the first place. And 3, help mentors identify themselves as one adult part of a team, and encourage active reflection on what good examples of the mentor role may look like. This toolkit is part of YACVIC's Learning from COVID-19 series, sharing the creativity and adaptations of the youth sector. For more stories like this, visit yacvic.org.au/COVID-youth-work. Or to get in touch with the Broadening Horizons program, visit broadeninghorizons.com.au. Thanks for following this series. Share it on social media and tag @YACVIC, or get in touch to let us know what you thought.